It's sometimes hard to describe just how much joy and how much fun and how much playfulness and there is when we're with horses. Of course, all the magical stuff happens when the cameras are off and no one's looking and it's just you and your horse. But the pure joy when they allow us to tell them what to do, when they give us their movements, their presence, when we know that we're on the same subject, that we're in simpatico. The fun and the playfulness and the earthly joy that we experience, and the frustration sometimes, and the pain and the powerlessness. It's everything. I think horses are a portal to the divine. All at once, very straightforward and very down to earth and very concrete and real. And on the other hand, sort of ethereal and mystical. But the horse's mind is an unbelievable thing once we link up to it. I guess a little bit like an avatar. For me, it was always about well-being, always about getting rid of trauma, bringing horses back into the present and into exploration, curiosity, connection, movement. They're submissive. They could kill us. They could just fight us and injure us and just get rid of us altogether. And somehow they don't. Even the most aggressive horses give up if we display more aggressiveness and scare them. That's why I like fighting horses that tell us when we're being unacceptable, because we have to find another way to their heart and their connection. No one was ever calmed by being told aggressively to calm down. No one was ever brought back to joy and happiness by being shamed into it or forced in any way. The stressed horse doesn't calm down through more stress. They're a gateway to our own well-being and our own evolution. There's not a horse in the world who's a true result of natural evolution. Every horse on the planet, even those living free, were a product of domestication and breeding and artificial selection, because every horse on the planet had an ancestor who had been domesticated. So we don't know what the naturally evolved horse would look like. So in a way, we sort of made them. And in a way, they kind of make us. The paradox is that nothing will boost your ego like succeeding with horses, but nothing will require more humility than to try to succeed with horses. I am always asking to be better for them. I am always asking to open my mind wider and my eyes to see more and to understand more. When we have their eyes, when we have their acceptance, that's how it started for me. I was very young and I was urban. I always lived in big cities. And the first thought, my first teddy bear was a horse when I was a baby. And my first thought when I was a kid was like, I betcha it's an unbelievable thing to be able to connect with a horse. I betcha it's really special. And I don't know why I was thinking that, because I had no experience, no connection whatsoever with any horse. And when I first started, I was the director of a foundation who had put together therapy, facilitated therapy for young adults who had been sexually abused, and it was horse facilitated psychotherapy. And finally I was around horses and I was like, this is it. And my first experiences were clearly about wanting to be interesting to them. How can we make ourselves interesting to them? How can we make ourselves, what do they want? What do they need? What can we bring them? So food's the obvious one. But the secondary one is exploration and play and curiosity. Looking at stuff, going places. And none of that involves training. None of that involves making them do things. The relationship I have with my horses is very, very strange. On the one hand, we don't do a whole lot of training. On the other hand, they're extremely present. And if I speak horse to them, then they'll give me everything. And they're so chilled, and through the science that I've learned and the horse trauma releasing techniques that I've learned, I was able to bring them back into this unbelievable presence where their minds are available and they're so connected and curious. So for me to see like checked out horses and stressed horses and horses who can't like surrender into relaxation, and that's what I went after. I went after horse behavior science and found techniques that resets their nervous system and bring them back into presence and bring them back into being like fully there and fully interested and answering to pressure rather than reacting to pressure. They fill us with joy, and there is no words for the different paths that our soul will travel as we spend time with them and care for them. I never show, in my social media, I never show the stress releasing techniques that I use. I do teach them, and it's fully at liberty, and horses transform, and it's powerful, and they transform into relaxed, present, available, interested, positive horses. Science tells us that a horse can have a positive outlook or a negative outlook on life. Just like humans, they can be so stressed they don't sleep well and don't think well, and their nervous systems are just in subtle flight mode all the time, or fight mode. Or they can be zen. They can be free of stress and able to release whatever stress happens, Because there'll always be tough things and difficult moments, but how will you respond to those situations? Will you just react? Fight, flight, or freeze? Flight is avoidance for humans, when we avoid situations. And so you want a horse who answers to pressure and to stress and to life and doesn't react. And it's the same for humans. Either we respond to what life throws us, or we react. And it's a beautiful thing when we develop the tools to be able to surrender to life and to life's many, many challenges, and welcome all of life's many, many joys, and be present for all those joys and taste them fully. My name is Stoa for horse-psychology.com.